Hi guys, good morning. It's Monday, so I just wanted to send out my weekly video to check in with you guys, see how you guys are doing, and kind of let you know what's going on this week and kind of what we expect from you. There's been a lot of information coming down from central office that have kind of given us some directives as to how to approach this week and start to plan for after our spring break. So this week we are not officially assigning anything new. I've got a couple things that I need you to do real quick, but they're not necessarily assignments that are going to take too long. Like there's a Google form that's going to take 2 seconds, maybe a little more if you actually sit and watch all of the videos that I've posted. And it's just to choose a book to read. I'll get into that in a little bit more detail. And then there's one other thing that if you saw on Google Classroom, I've already posted and kind of explained a little bit. We are not officially assigning any new work. Your biggest goal this week is to finish the work that's already been assigned. If you have not finished that, or if I do not have it by Friday, even though technically Thursday spring break, if I don't have it by Friday, the 10th, then it will officially go in as a 0. We still don't know how we're doing grades yet. We don't know if it's going to be kind of a pass-fail situation or if we're actually taking grades. I'm not positive. So right now, Progress Book is just kind of working as a running record, seeing what you've completed and what you have not completed. So anything that has points in there means you've completed it. Anything that right now does not have points means that I do not have it. I know a couple of you sent some stuff yesterday later that I haven't got in yet. I will take care of those, but please, 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 please be checking Progress Book. If you notice that there's something that you have submitted to me, you have turned in to me, and it is not in Progress Book and it's been a couple days, please email me and let me know. Right now, my mailbox, my inbox, is looking a lot like my desk at school. So you guys can probably imagine how easy it is for me to lose some of those emails that come through. I get emails from you guys. I get emails from your parents, from other teachers, from people up at central office, from Mr. Holt. I mean, it's emails all day long. And I'm not always home because I've been babysitting my nieces. So it's hard to kind of keep track of all of that. So again, please, if there's something you know you have turned in and you don't see it in Progress Book, email me sooner rather than later, because then I'm just going to assume you didn't turn it in and it's going to go in as a 0. I'll try and sift through everything. If you did send me pictures of the reading packet, those I have not looked at yet. I'm waiting before I start grading those to see to kind of see what our directive is as far as grading. Normally, I take that half of the packet you did on your own. Normally, I take that for accuracy, but if we're just going to be working on a pass-fail type of situation, I'm only going to be taking it for completion. So continue to finish it. If you've not finished it, hold on, finish it. If you have finished it and haven't submitted it to me yet, just hold on to it. Don't turn it in just yet. I'm going to let you know as soon as I do how I want to handle that. Because if there is a way that we can get them physically turned in, I prefer that. But we don't know just yet how that's going to happen. Okay? So, I made a nifty to-do list for you guys. There it is. You can pause it and use it. Nice little checklist for you. So, first, I'm not good at this mirroring thing. First, finish all of the homework that's previously assigned to you. So anything from those first 3 weeks. You're going to have to dig a little bit on Google Classroom to find some of it all. I'll try and move things up. I know there's a lot on there, so I'll try and move things up, put it together so you have your Common Lit assignments. You've got a lot of you still have to take your Edge Elastic practice test. A lot of you still have to do that writing simulation on Edge Elastic as well. And your midsummer project. I've only gotten a handful of those projects in. Again, reiterating, you are required to do a character sketch. I've had a lot of you turn stuff in and it was not the character sketch. Okay, you've turned in 2 or 3 other tasks. You have to do the character sketch. Okay, that is part of the directions. It's under the required section. You must do the character sketch. Okay, so finish all work previously assigned. Number 2, fill out the Google form. There's a Google form I posted it like Friday, and then I reposted it with the stuff I posted for you guys yesterday. That is important because when we come back from spring break on I think it's officially the 17th, I don't know exactly. When we come back, you will be reading a novel. Either you have the choice between Of Mice and Men, which is what we would normally be reading if we were in class. I know that the summary and the book or the movie trailer doesn't look the most entertaining, and it is an older movie. It is an older book. It is an American classic. But it's probably one of my favorite books. It is one of my most favorite things that we read all year. I don't want to tell you too much because there are some crazy plot twists and some crazy things that happen. The biggest thing you do need to know about Of Mice and Men is that one of the main characters, Lenny, he is mentally disabled. This was during the time around the 1930s and the Great Depression and the Dust Bowl, when people didn't understand the mentally disabled so much. So he is not treated the best because of it, but he does have this best friend, George, who kind of looks out for him. So that comes into play a lot, which is very entertaining. There is also, there's a lot of cussing because of the language. It is, again, 1930s. There still wasn't civil rights going on. Martin Luther King hadn't done his stuff yet. So the way that we had still treated African Americans in this country weren't the greatest. So there is an African American character, and so they do use the N-word quite a lot to talk about him and talk to him and explain him and describe him. So just be aware of that if you do choose that book. But it is a fantastic book, probably one of my favorites. So you have Mice and Men. You also have Boy in the Striped Pajamas, which is around Nazi Germany, and this little boy, Bruno, his dad gets promoted in the German army, and he has to move to this house right outside of Auschwitz, the biggest concentration camp, and he goes and makes friends with this boy who's in Auschwitz, who's in this concentration camp, and he doesn't realize what's going on. He's too young to understand what's going on, so he doesn't see that he's a Jew. He just sees that he's a kid his age, and he doesn't realize that he's in a concentration camp. So that is a very good story. A lot of you have picked it so far. So Of Mice and Men, Boy in the Striped Pajamas, and The Giver. It's about a dystopian society. They've taken away everyone's memories of normal life, of the world, of death, of colors, of things like that. My Access, we watched the movie a couple months ago during one of our free Fridays. I played it for you guys. So the book gives a lot more detail, obviously. So those are your three choices. We'll read them. I'll work on setting up some sort of office hours with you guys and kind of doing some Google Meets. So based on, those of you in all my classes who've read the book or are reading the same book, and we can either do, if you want, we can do a read aloud with them, or we can do a just kind of discussion based on what you read so far, things like that. So when we come back from spring break, you'll have that book. You'll be required to read 1 to 2 chapters a week. Like I said, depends on the length of the book. Of Mice and Men, you'll probably only be reading about 1 chapter a week. The other 2, you'll probably be reading 2 chapters a week just because they are a little bit longer. So then with that, I'll have a choice board of sorts for you. And the one that I have is color-coded. So it's like blue, green, different columns are all one color. So I might say, okay, this week pick something from the blue column to show me that you read. Pick something from the orange column. They're not too intense. They do take a little bit more than your average vocab choice board. But they're kind of a little bit fun, hands-on type of stuff. Once we come back, I'll go into details on what I expect from that. So in reading, I have a choice board, and then I'm going to have some sort of journal writing for you, kind of similar to our free writes that we used to do that I was really bad about having you guys do. So I'll have a space for you to go and just 3 days a week give me a paragraph about anything you want. You can write a story, you can write a rap, you can write a song, you can write a poem, you can write about how much your parents are annoying you while you're staying at home through all of this. You can write about how hilarious and how bad your English teacher is at making YouTube videos. It doesn't matter. You guys know the drill on that. I'll also, just in case you need some guidance, post 3 prompts for you. You don't have to respond to those prompts. All I'm looking for is that you wrote a paragraph 3 different days out of the week, out of the 5 days. Okay? So nothing too intense. There might be a couple supplemental worksheets or some things there, here and there, just to keep your skills up, like your context clues and things like that up. So that way you are ready for high school, or that you are ready if we do come back. Okay, so checklist again. Finish all of the work previously assigned to you. That's important. Google form. I just spent way too long explaining what that's going to do. The third one is to write a letter of gratitude or encouragement to somebody in healthcare. So our healthcare workers are on the front lines right now. A lot of them are risking their lives and their families' lives, and a lot of them, I've seen a lot of posts where they can't even come home to their family right now. So just some sort of thank you note. Tell them that, what they're doing is amazing. Tell them how much you appreciate what they're doing, the career that they're doing, whatever. And I know some of you have family members who are working in healthcare, so you kind of see a little bit what's going on, a little bit of this virus kind of hands-on and how it is affecting people. So if you have somebody that you are able to see and you are able to get a letter to in healthcare, like your mom, your dad, grandma, grandpa, Uncle Joe who lives with you, whatever, you can write to them and give the letter straight to them. I don't care. Otherwise, you can type it. I'll make a place where you can just kind of type your own letter and you can share it with me. And then I will work on, over spring break, getting them delivered to the hospitals around town. There's also, if you didn't want to just type a letter and you want to kind of make like a card, there's different websites you can find to make a digital card. I've done it 1,000 times when I was in college and broke and couldn't afford $5 for a book or for a card for a birthday or something. Just if you go into Google, like digital greeting card or something, they'll come up with a bunch of free options for you that you can create your own and then share it with me. All right. I think that's all I have. I know I've talked way too long. I didn't mean for this video to be 12 minutes long. Whoops. It's been a while. I gotta talk to you guys. Come on. You know me. Okay. Checklist. So you can see it. I'm going to creep over the front. All right. You can pause it if you need to. I'll make a nicer one that I didn't just write in Sharpie before this video and post on Google Classroom for you as well. All right. Keep an eye out for any more Google Meets from your teachers. Keep emailing us. Like we said, we love to hear from you, even just to say hi. Also, keep an eye out on the Fairborn City Schools Facebook page. Your Baker teachers have a little surprise coming for you. Hopefully sometime this week. We're at the mercy of, who runs that Facebook page to post it. They've been pretty busy recently. So keep an eye out on that. Love you guys. If you need anything, let me know.